What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and as we continue to see the rise of cancel culture, whether that's in big tech, where you will be censored, you will be shadow banned, you will be straight up deplatformed if you have an opinion that goes against their narrative, or in the case of Hollywood, where you will literally be fired over a political opinion, just like we saw with Gina Carano and Disney. Now the NPCs have a new download that they have been spouting for the past several months. That is consequence culture. That there's actually no such thing as cancel culture. It's just consequences for your actions. We all know that that's an absolute farce. The cancel culture is very real, and we will continue to fight back against it. But people like Lavar Burton, washed up, irrelevant people like Lavar Burton, get some virtue signaling points when they come out and speak the narrative, and that's exactly what we had happen. Take a look at this Bounding in the Comics article. Star Trek actor Lavar Burton defends cancel culture, believes it's been misnamed, and suggests renaming it to consequence culture. Now, of course, this isn't too long after he supported a bunch of Dr. Seuss books getting pulled, not getting published anymore, not getting put out there. A bunch of Dr. Seuss books getting canceled. Ironic, isn't it? That the dude that for so many of us that are around my age, we remember Lavar Burton and reading Rainbow. Now this dude advocates basically burning books. So it shouldn't be a surprise that this is where he falls in this. That he wants to pretend like there's no such thing as cancel culture. It's all about consequence culture. Let's get into it. And I think I have an interesting comparison for Lavar Burton once we get into it that you guys might be a little spicy, but it is what it is. During an interview with The View, Star Trek actor Lavar Burton briefly touched on the topic of cancel culture, mentioning that he believes the phenomenon has been misnamed, revealing he prefers to call it consequence culture instead. When we look at, we talked about Gina Carano in the beginning. When we look at what Gina Carano's posted, she did absolutely nothing wrong, did not deserve to get fired in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, when you look at other people that work at Lucasfilm, fucking Pedro Pascal, he tweeted far worse and far more offensive shit. But nothing happened. There was no consequences to that. So are we in a consequence culture when only one side gets held accountable for something that they don't even need to be fired over? No, we're not. That is bullshit, and people see right through dumb pieces of shit like Lavar Burton. Burton's hot take on the cancel culture movement was expressed this Monday when The View co-host Meghan McCain asked Star Trek actor about his opinion on the recent discontinuation of Dr. Seuss books. McCain asked, "We talked on the show about the decision by the Dr. Seuss estate to discontinue 6 of his books that feature, quote, racist imagery. What do you think of that decision and about the cancel culture surrounding the works of art or the artists that are controversial?" Burton goes on to explain he actually has been doing voiceover work for Dr. Seuss Enterprises. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting because for the Dr. Seuss Foundation, I did a voiceover for a video that they had put together to remind us that Dr. Seuss is more than simply a company that's decided to put a couple books on the shelf to take them out of the rotation, Burton explained. He continues, that man, Dr. Seuss, is responsible for generations of wholesome, healthy, wonderful, imaginative, creative content for children of all ages, and I think we need to put that in perspective. It's very interesting that after you have been hired to do a virtue signal, that now this is the way you're speaking in a very PR kind of sense for Dr. Seuss. Interesting. I think I understand what's happening. Here's where things get spicier, as Burton openly admits that cancel culture is a term he calls a misnomer. Let's listen to this, shall we? Why don't we just listen to the man himself, listen to his words. I don't want to spin anything. I wouldn't want to spin any of your words, Lavar Burton. Let's listen to him on The View.
In terms of cancel culture, I think it's misnamed. That's a misnomer. I think we have a consequence culture, and that consequences are finally encompassing everybody in the society, whereas they haven't been ever in this country. So I think that there are good signs that are happening in the culture right now, and I think it has everything to do with a new awareness on people who were simply unaware of the real nature of life in this country for people who have been othered since this nation began.
Ah, there you go. Okay, Lavar Burton. Now, I know you like to sound... Look, I'm very educated. I'm very calm. I know what I'm talking about. There's no such thing as cancel culture. We have consequence culture. All right. What about this? Lavar Burton. Lavar Burton! Tell me about this. Is this It's consequence culture, right? If you walk up, you disobey what the orders are coming from the police, you resist an arrest, whatever it may be, and I'm about to plunge a knife into someone. That's consequence culture, right? So you fully support exactly what happened here. You understand that, if someone's resisting arrest, that they understand what the ramifications, what the consequences may be. Is that really the line you want to take? Consequence culture? Because let's face it, that's not what's happening. Not everyone is getting held accountable. We see what's going on. Only one side is being quote unquote held accountable for consequence culture, not the other. That's why it's cancel culture, because in reality, what we're talking about these things, which we're talking about Gina Carano being fired, if we're talking about people like Chris Pratt them trying to get him taken down, if they're talking about all these people who happen to just express an opinion that people don't like, that is not consequence culture, that's cancel culture, because theirs is the only opinion that's not allowed. Everyone else's, that's completely fine. But that's something that these people are never going to admit. I don't think LeVar Burton, let's ask LeVar Burton, you could tag him if you want and say, hey, LeVar Burton, is this consequence culture? Do you think that what happened to Ma'Khia Bryant, is that consequence culture? I don't know, because you just want people to be held accountable for their actions, right? To understand the consequences of what they're doing. This is a load of horseshit. When you start to pick apart this consequence culture narrative that has been going around there, it doesn't make sense. It definitively is cancel culture, because not only do they want you fired, they want you to never work again. They want your family to suffer. They want your fucking entire legacy to be taken down and ruined and tarnished. That's what it's about. That's why it's cancel culture. In the case of Dr. Seuss, when they made the decision to take these books down, what did you have? You had all of these people saying Dr. Seuss is a fucking racist bigot, you shouldn't buy any of their books. That's what happened. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about cancel culture. We're not talking about one fucking instance and one person saying something, people being like, yeah, I don't really agree with that. We're talking about the dehumanization of someone because of their ideas and the fact that you never want them to work again. You want them to be fired. You want them to be shunned out of society over a difference of opinion. LeVar Burton is just one of the many absolute idiots, washed up losers in the entertainment industry that have no idea what they're talking about, that are trying to use this opportunity to virtue signal in a certain sort of way. It is cancel culture. Definitively, it is cancel culture. When they go, these people try to flag down my channel. They try to flag down my TeePublic store or TeePublic store. They flag down Jay's TeePublic store. All these things. This is cancel culture. It has nothing to do with consequence culture, even though that's what you stupid fucks would like to lead everyone to believe. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.